Hi everyone, Dredgen here, and today we'll be taking a look at another hot swap mechanical keyboard, the Keychron K6. So Keychron has been getting some attention lately for their mechanical keyboard line, and for good reason. The keyboards are feature-packed and are reasonably priced. The K6 is their first hot swappable offering. This keyboard is available in a lot of configurations. It starts at $69 for the white LED version without the aluminum frame, and goes up to $99 for the hot swap RGB aluminum frame version, which is the one that I got. They also have a TKL version for this keyboard, which is called the K8. I do think it is worth it to buy the $99 version, so you could get the hot swap functionality. As for the aluminum frame, I'm a bit mixed on this one, since it is basically some aluminum strips that are attached to the keyboard's plastic sides. These plastic sides here are what you get if you don't buy the aluminum version, so I would say it's worth it to spend a bit more on the upgrade since they do look good. Here's the unboxing. So out of the box, you get some paperwork, a keycap puller, some extra keycaps for changing between Windows and Mac, a braided USB Type-C cable, and the keyboard itself. So first, the layout of the board, and I would need you to pay a bit more attention to this if you are planning to buy this keyboard. Keychron, at the time of publishing this video, has not yet released a software that lets you change key assignments. Whatever layout and assignments that is on this keyboard, when it comes out of the box, you are stuck with it. Keychron did say that they plan to release the software in late 2020, so it's up to you if you are willing to wait. Currently, the manual recommends that you use sharp keys for Windows, which basically requires you to change your computer's registry. That's a big no for me. Incidentally, as I was using this keyboard, it triggered another keyboard software on my computer. This is the Monster Gear Ninja 71 software, and I was actually able to change the key bindings on the K6 using this software. I will have a link on the description below for the Ninja 71 software if you want to try it out. However, that still doesn't count. This would usually not be a big issue if they included all the keys on a full-size keyboard on this one. Unfortunately, they did not. From what I can tell, you cannot access print screen, scroll lock, and pause on this keyboard, even on the function layers. So keep that in mind. It may or may not affect you, but I know some people who sold their K6 because of the lack of these keys. If this layout bothers you, you may consider the Keychron K8. Digging deeper into the layout of the board, this is basically a 60% keyboard with arrow keys and an extra column on the right. This is a non-standard layout, so prepare to pay a bit of money if you are planning to change the keycaps on this keyboard since compatibility might be an issue. The bottom row on the right side have been shrunk down to 1 unit from the usual 1.25, and the right shift key is 1.75 units instead of the usual 2.25. On the right column, you get page down, page up, home, and here's another layout decision that really bothers me. For most 65% keyboards, this button at the top right side is usually for delete, but they decided to have a dedicated button for changing your LED lights. I use delete quite a lot for work, so this is a big no for me. For a keyboard that is very muted and is marketed as a workspace keyboard, I do not understand this decision at all. You have very limited keys on compact keyboards, and I do think this is such a waste of key assignment. You could have put the LED button as a function layer like everyone does, and it would have been a better decision. As for the RGB lighting, it's not as bright as you would usually have on white keyboards, but it still looks good. You have two function layers. The yellow inscriptions on the keys are accessed with function 1, and the blue inscriptions are accessed using function 2. Moving over to the design, I have to admit, when this keyboard came out of the box, I was really impressed with how it looked. What immediately grabbed my attention were the keycaps. This is one of the best looking keycap sets I've seen in a while. The etchings are small and very sharp, which I really like. They are also legible, even without the LED backlight. However, the issue is that these are very thin ABS keycaps and they do not sound good. I'm not sure if the keycaps needed to be this thin to get these sharp legends, but I feel this was a trade-off between the keycaps looking good and at the expense of it feeling and sounding quite bad. They are very smooth to the touch and they show fingerprints rather easily. This will also get shiny over time. My personal opinion on the keycaps, I don't like the feel of these. They feel flimsy and cheap, which is a waste since the keyboard looks really premium. PBT would have been a better material to work with, but then you will probably not have those nice sharp legends. The keyboard has a blocky, high-profile design. It has flip-out feet and gives you 3 different angles for typing. The height of the board may be an issue to some, but it did not bother me when I used this for gaming and work. I do use a wrist rest regularly, so do keep that in mind. The USB Type-C socket is on the left side, which is yet another design decision that I do not like. They should have just placed it at the top, but that is my preference. There is also a Bluetooth switch and a switch to change from Mac or Windows on the left side. As for the typing experience, mine came with Gateron Browns and here's how they sound. So typing experience is okay. This is a hot swap board, so you can change the switches and stabilizers quite easily if you want to. The stabilizers do rattle, but for this price point, I'm okay with that. As for hot swap functionality, this has 5-pin sockets, which is really nice since you can use 5-pin switches without clipping the legs. For functionality, this can connect wired or via Bluetooth to up to 3 devices. You hold function 1 plus Q, W, or E to pair, then you just press it when switching between devices. This has a very large 4000 mAh battery. The manual says it should last for 3 to 5 weeks depending on usage, and I'd imagine that would greatly decrease if you have the LEDs constantly on. As for the competition, there are a lot of hot swap options on the market. If you like what you see on the K6 but do not like the 65% layout, then you can get the K8, which is the TKL version, for the same price. If you want a smaller form factor, I think that the Kemove Snowfox at around $80 is a better typing experience than this one out of the box. It is entirely made of plastic, but you get pretty much the same features. You also get PBT keycaps and a software where you can change your key mappings. If you do not like the height of the keyboard, then the GMMK from Glorious PC Gaming Race is another great option and allows for a lot of customization before buying the keyboard. So to summarize, the Keychron K6 is a decent keyboard that would have been great had it not been for some unfortunate design decisions. You get good build quality, a large battery, and a decent typing experience at a reasonable price. However, the lack of software, the bad ABS keycaps, and some contradicting design choices really pull down on an otherwise good keyboard. Keychron has been releasing updated versions on some of their keyboards, so hopefully they update the K6 as well. For now, I do think it is still okay to buy this keyboard if you like how the keyboard looks, but do prepare to work around some of its limitations. There will be non-affiliated links on everything I've mentioned on this video. I also have a review of the Kemove Snowfox and the GMMK White Ice on my channel if you are interested. And that is it for this video. Hopefully, I helped you in deciding whether this one is the keyboard for you. See you on the next one. Bye!